All right, happy joined once again by Khaos Williams, who ended up number 4 in MMA Fighting's list for 2020 Breakout Fighter of the Year. A hell of an introduction to the promotion for the Ox Fighter, and he is back on the program. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed, man. Happy to be back on the, like you said, the promotion, man.
Absolutely. So we'll get to how the year ended in a moment, but when you look back on your 2020, getting in there, immediately making an impact, like if I asked 10 casual like MMA fans who Khaos Williams is, I'd be shocked if all of them didn't know who you were already just 3 fights in, which at this day and age, that's pretty difficult to do. But how would you describe this year in your life?
Man, yeah, man, it's definitely a great accomplishment, man. I would just say it was a blessed year. You know, even though it was a bad year as far as, you know, everything going on with the pandemic and stuff, it was still a great year. It was a blessed year, man. I wish I could have ended it 3-0 with 3 knockouts, or, you know what I'm saying, just finishing off how I expected it to. But, you know, I can't cry over spilled milk, you know.
The 2 knockouts early on were spectacular. Less than a minute combined over Alex Morano and Razak Al-Hassan, and you got big buzz from both of them. But let me ask you, which one was more memorable for you? Like, if you could only keep the memory of one of those knockouts with you forever, would it be the short notice debut in front of a packed crowd, or the one-punch knockout that terrified the whole world?
I would definitely say, man, you know, me coming in, you would think it would have been that first one with the crowd. But I would definitely say that the second one, just because that really what made people pay attention. You know, that made number 1 on SportsCenter, you know, against a super dangerous opponent. Both of them were dangerous opponents, but, you know, against another knockout artist, you know. I mean, even though the feds wasn't there, you know, I had the boss man there right with, you know what I'm saying, had the best seat in the house. You know, I feel like that if I had to choose one, that would probably be the one right there. You know, it was clean. You know, the first one, it really was in the moment. You know, I caught him, and it really didn't show, you know, that I was a sniper. It really showed that, you know, I had a knockout power, but it wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be. The second one, it was just, took my time and, you know, right on the button.
Do you feel like with like the trajectory of the year that the layoff actually was like the best thing for you? Like you got the quick knockout, you got some buzz, kind of leveled out a little bit, but then 30 seconds into your next fight, one punch and your buzz just took off like a rocket ship.
Hell yeah, man. You know, I feel like it was like I said, it was a blessing in disguise. I wanted to fight in February. I had to fight immediately after in March, but the pandemic ended up shutting it down. So with that being said, with all that layoff time and everything shutting down, you know, that got to the point where you know, I was ready to fight. A lot of people was anticipating me to fight, especially like, you know what I'm saying, my whole state, everybody behind me, man, and it definitely was good, you know.
So a couple weeks ago, you took on Michel Pereira. It was a fight that everybody was looking at. Everybody had circled on their fight cards and their calendars. Goes the full 15, went to the judges, and you lose a close decision. And I know after the fight, you felt like you won, and you were not alone on that, Khaos. But why did you feel in that moment that you deserved the nod in that fight?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't put my hands up if I didn't feel like I won. You know, when it boils down to it, you know, I got a high fight IQ too. You know, I really didn't. In the fight, it was just a little bit. It's always room for improvement. So it was a little bit that I could have did better as far as like with my like when I watched the fight, because I watched it over and over again, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm my biggest critic, you know. And I'm sitting up here watching the fight, and I'm looking at it like, okay, maybe just a little bit. I feel like, well, let me stay on track, man, because I'm all over the place. But the main reason why I feel like I won is because I held the middle of the cage. I was bringing the fight to him. You know, it's kind of hard to really, it's not as easy as it looks being in there. When you got somebody dancing around and kind of staying on the outside, it's a little harder to really dial in. You know, it's a little harder to dial in and really get off like you want to when somebody else running away from you, when they not really bringing the fight to you. So now I became the aggressor, but I had to also, it was more of me counterpunching, because, you know, I said I didn't want to go out there and look sloppy when he running and when he dancing around the cage. But I feel like I won because I controlled it. I'm the one that was bringing the aggression. I wasn't as aggressive as I usually am, but it's because, you know what I'm saying, I was taking my time. I didn't want to look sloppy. He was moving a lot, you know. It's a fight. Everybody got a punch a chance in the fight, but I feel like I won because, you know, I controlled the middle of the cage. Every exchange, I won every exchange. You hear me? Every time he hit me once, I probably hit him 3 times. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel like I won. And then even with the second round, he took me down in the second round. I popped right back up. He didn't do nothing with it. And then at the end of the second round, it was like a duck under, a Hail Mary submission attempt, which really wasn't even no submission attempt, because watching the fight, it was like 5 to 3 seconds on the ground, and he was on the side of my neck. You get what I'm saying? It was just like, man. And then the third round, that was the only round that I would have gave him just based off the scorecards, because it's the end of the fight. He took me down with like 22 seconds left and really didn't do nothing with it. That was it. I just don't feel how you can win a fight when, you know, in respect to him, we went in there, we did what we had to do. But I just don't feel like you won that fight. And I'm pretty sure he don't even feel like he won that fight. You know, you can tell by his reaction, man. He didn't even feel like he won that fight, man.
What did you take away from the fight? Because, you know, we saw, I think the build up into the fight, and I know we talked beforehand, was, you know, he's going to be all crazy out there. He's going to do all these crazy things. And you said if he did all those crazy things, this is going to be a short night for him. He was definitely more composed. Yeah, there was a lot of movement here, but were you surprised with the game plan that he put together for you?
I mean, I really wasn't surprised, man. You know, that's why I usually say, man, I don't really like to do too much talking, you know, and I just like to let my hands speak for themselves. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like in my other interviews, I knew the ops was listening, and I knew that, you know, I'm pretty sure he respected it regardless. So he wasn't about to come in there. He may have, or he may have not came in there crazy. You know what I'm saying? Watching my other 2 fights, but me saying that, you know, that probably him and his coach, they was like, okay, let me not let you know what I'm saying? In this fight, don't be on that. You know what I'm saying? He respected it. He respected the power. He respected, you know, he came in there. He fought a smarter fight. You know what I mean? And you know, I wanted to get the fans a little bit more, you know, and just because of I know how much everybody anticipated the fight to go, you know. And you know what I'm saying, I always try to put on the show, you know.
Yeah, I did notice that in our conversation. Like you were trying to like say things because you were doing the interview, but I feel like you're in a different place now than you were before then. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you're a little more loose, and you're kind of you don't feel like you're giving anything away, if that makes any sense.
Right.
On MMA Decisions, it's a website where media members like give their scores after all the fights, and 12 out of 20 scored it for him, 8 scored it for you, which means it's a super close fight. And I'm curious, like, you felt like you won the fight in the moment, but I know it doesn't go on the record as a win. The win bonus doesn't hit the bank account and things like that. But like mentally, do you feel like you won? Like you move on to the next one feeling like you won the fight?
Definitely, without a doubt.
What lessons did you take away from the fight? I mean, there's all win or lose. There's always things you take away, but you know, what specific things did you take away?
What I took away was you can be the aggressor and you could be winning the fight for 4 minutes of the fight, or 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the round, but to the judges, they just looking at the last 30 seconds. That's what I took away from the fight.
I know one of the things that people have been debating for a while, we've seen it a little bit over the last year or so, is open scoring in MMA. Like you see it on those Invicta cards. Like, you know what the scores are as you're sitting on the stool between rounds. Like, you have the option to know, and you know where you stand. Do you, not that it would change the judging game completely, but at least in your mind, like, you know where you stand. Would you prefer if there was open scoring in the UFC?
I mean, I look at it like this. You know, I look at it like this, man. And like you said, you got whatever. Everybody entitled to their opinions. You get what I'm saying? But like you said, out of the whatever website that is, you know, that was on that one. But if you ask 100 people, you know, majority 70% of the people gonna say I won. You know what I mean? The other 30 to 20%, they probably on, you know what I'm saying, on his side because they a fan. But like if you been in there and if you a fighter and you know, like, you know, I won that fight. You can't win a fight by not really doing too much. Like you did more dancing than damage. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there trying to make something happen.
So you walk out of there, you feel like you're the better man.
Definitely, man. Without a doubt. I mean, it's always room for improvement. It's a little bit of stuff that I could have did better. You know, okay, stop that takedown. Boom. You know, I had a little bit more volume, use my footwork to get in a little bit better. I mean, but that's really about it, man. You know what I mean? He ain't do nothing.
I feel like you didn't, like, despite it being on the record books as a loss, I don't feel like you've lost a lot of steam. Like, people keep asking about you. They want to know what's next for Khaos. Like, we get questions all the time on Twitter and all of our shows. Like, you know, what do you see? Were you impressed with Khaos? Like, what do you want to see next for him? Even more so than Pereira in a lot of ways. Do you feel that as well? Like, you haven't really lost a lot of steam despite walking out there without the win?
I mean, definitely not, man. I just feel like I just lost. You know, I look at it like this, man. You know, minor setback for a major comeback. You know, I stay encouraged, not discouraged. You know, I'm a winner, man. I'm a winner, man. I hate that. I just hate the feeling of losing. But I'm a man. But I hate to lose. I hate the losing feeling more than I love the winning feeling. You get what I'm saying? So it just makes me even hungrier. But I look at it like not just I lost the fight in general, because I really didn't lose. Like you said, man, I'm still confident. I still believe in myself. I still believe in my talent. You know, it's a God-given talent and it's God's plan. You know, but I look at it like I lost a chapter of my legacy. You get what I'm saying? As far as in the book. You know, I was supposed to go out like, you know, I started off great. It was supposed to end great in this year. But, you know, I'm just getting started for real, for real. It's just the beginning of my career. And, you know, I'm gonna just keep getting back to racking these wins up, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, listening to you say that, it reminds me of, like, I think of, like, college football. Like, when Alabama loses a mid-game, mid-season or before the playoffs, like, people say, like, maybe it came at the right time. Like, maybe it's what they needed before their greatness of that season truly showed. Like, do you feel like that in kind of a way? Like, this is just going to be it's just going to lead to great. This is extra motivation now.
Yeah, it's just extra motivation, man. You know, like I said, minor setback for a major comeback, man. This ain't stopping nothing, you know. And you know, you always gonna have fickle people, and then you always gonna have people that's riding with you, you know. So you know, I'm with the people who riding with me for the movement, not just the moment, you know.
Yeah, it's an important lesson to learn in this sport. And a lot of fighters learn that early on. Some learn a little bit later. And I think we've talked about this before. You learned this a little bit early on. So it seems like, you know, those lessons early in your career, they're paying dividends right now for you.
Definitely. You know,
well, now
I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot in life, man. And, you know, while I was going through it, I didn't understand why I was going through it. But now, you know, getting to where I'm at now, it was just like, you know, maybe, you know, it's all a part of God's plan, man.
Now we can move forward. New year, 2021 is going to be here in a matter of days as we have this conversation. Are you like a New Year's resolution guy? Do you set those kinds of goals for yourself?
Not really, man. Just about to get back to it. You know, just about to get back to it, man. I've been set. You know, I live like I strive to be a perfectionist, man. I'm not perfect, but every day, you know, I just try to be a better me, just try to be a better mixed martial artist, be a better fighter, you know. So I mean, yeah, you can yeah, so I just try to be a better fighter, man, you know, every day. Yeah.
And then, like, career-wise, like, if we have this chat same time next year, what will have to happen for you to consider it as successful as can be, even more successful than this year? Like, is a certain amount of wins, like where you're at in the rankings, like what would have to happen to you in 2021 if we talk 1 year from right now that'll make 2021 a big success for you?
Man, you know, just really, man, you know, I never really try to put you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, man.
You live in the moment, right? You're yeah, you know, man, step by step.
I really never try to, you know what I'm saying? Sky the limit, man. You know what I mean? So I never really say, oh, I want to, you know, put a limit on things, man. You know, sky the limit, you know, just more wins, you know, just in more spectacular fashion. You never know, man. Bigger names, who knows?
So you had 2 quick fights to end the year after an 8 or so month layoff after the debut. Like, how quickly do you want to get back there in 2021? Like, do you have a date in mind?
No specific date. You know, of course, I want to get back in the gym, and just work on a few things. You know, just get back in there and just continue to be better. But I would probably say, if I had to give myself a date, you know what I'm saying, get past the holidays and stuff, I'd probably say get in there maybe like March.
That's not too bad. You got to enjoy the holiday. Eat a little bit of food, enjoy it.
Definitely, man. Get a full camp, you know, and just get back to it, man. I'm in shape, and I didn't take no damage. Just a little scratch. That's about it.
I mean, you've always been like a line 'em up kind of a guy, but at this point, is there anybody that you have in mind that you'd like to get in there with, scrap it up with?
No, not really. Just whoever they put in front of me, man.
Just line them up and we'll take them out.
Yeah.
Before we wrap, man, I got a bunch of things going on, but what's the message for the rest of your division as we head into 2021 for the fans, for everyone who may be watching right now, the ones that have stuck with you, the ones who may have thought this setback kind of threw you off the rails a little bit? Like, what do you want to say to everybody?
This ain't stopping nothing, man. This ain't stopping nothing. I'm just getting started. Like I said, man, just trust and believe, man. Keep sleeping on me. The doctor gonna wake you up.
The line of the year right there. One of my favorites. Great year, Khaos. Big things went down for you. Looking forward to big things going down for you in 2021 as well. Happy New Year. Enjoy the rest of the holidays, my man. And looking forward to see you back in there in 2021.
Thank you.